Hey there, friends, it's your buddy Saeed Rasalat, and boy, do I have a story for you. Picture this. A routine grocery run that turns into a comedy of errors at Imtiaz Super Store. We're talking underwear avalanches, soda symphonies, and pizza box Jenga, all in one epic shopping saga. Why should you watch this video? Well, besides the fact that it's a hilarious roller coaster ride of grocery store antics, it's also a reminder to not take life too seriously. Sometimes, you just have to laugh at the chaos and enjoy the ride. So, grab your favorite snack, settle in, and join me as I recount the day my family and I experienced cart chaos like never before. Trust me, you won't want to miss this one. Ah, the call of the cart. That familiar tug at the heartstrings that signals it's time for the monthly grocery run. For my family, a trip to Imtiaz Super Store in Malir, Kant was always an adventure waiting to happen. We'd make our list, check it twice, and off we'd go, brimming with excitement at the thought of restocking our pantry. As we pulled into the parking lot, the buzz of activity was palpable. Shopping carts clattered, shoppers chattered, and the smell of fresh produce wafted through the air. We grabbed a cart, its wheels squeaking in protest as we steered it towards the entrance. Inside, the store was a bustling hive of activity. Shelves stretched towards the ceiling, laden with goods of every description. From fresh fruits and vegetables to pantry staples and household essentials, Imtiaz Super Store had it all. We navigated the aisles with precision, ticking off items on our list as we went. Little did we know, this routine trip to the supermarket was about to take a hilariously unexpected turn. As we paid for our groceries and headed towards the exit, little did we know that our cart was about to become the star of a comedy of errors that would have us laughing for days to come. The Imtiaz Super Store beckoned like a beacon of convenience, its aisles filled with promise and possibility. We ventured forth, armed with our shopping list and a sense of purpose, ready to conquer the grocery jungle. The store was a sensory feast, with bright lights illuminating endless shelves stocked with goods from floor to ceiling. The hum of shoppers filled the air, blending with the beeping of cash registers and the occasional announcement over the loudspeaker. Navigating the store was like embarking on a mini odyssey. We wound our way through the maze of aisles, passing by displays of fresh produce, rows of canned goods, and stacks of household items. Every turn revealed a new treasure trove of goods, each aisle offering a different culinary adventure. As we filled our cart with essentials, the sheer variety of products was both overwhelming and exhilarating. From exotic spices to familiar favorites, Imtiaz Super Store catered to every taste and whim. Little did we know, our cart was about to take on a life of its own, leading us on a wild ride that would have us questioning the very fabric of reality. But for now, we were content to wander the aisles, marveling at the abundance of choices before us. Our cart, once a faithful companion, suddenly seemed to have a mind of its own. As we made our way to the checkout counter, it began to wobble and veer off course, as if possessed by a mischievous spirit. We exchanged puzzled looks, trying to steer the cart back on track, but it had other plans. With a sudden lurch, it careened down an aisle, narrowly missing a display of canned goods. We hurried after it, dodging bewildered shoppers and apologizing profusely for the chaos our cart was causing. Finally, we managed to corral the cart and make our way to the checkout counter. The assistant scanned our items, seemingly unaware of the cart's earlier antics. With our loot paid for, we breathed a sigh of relief and headed towards the exit. But the cart wasn't done with us yet. As we reached the exit, it suddenly lurched forward, sending our bags of groceries tumbling to the ground. We watched in disbelief as a tsunami of undergarments spilled out, much to the shock and amusement of everyone around us. Embarrassed but unable to contain our laughter, we quickly gathered up our groceries and made our way home, wondering what other surprises our unruly cart had in store for us. Back at home, we gathered around the kitchen table, eager to unpack our haul from Imtiaz Super Store. What should have been a straightforward task quickly turned into a comedy of errors. As we began to unpack the bags, it became apparent that something was amiss. Instead of the usual groceries, out tumbled a tsunami of undergarments. Bras and boxers cascaded onto the floor, much to the amusement of my teenage son, who blushed furiously at the sight. But the surprises didn't end there. As we dug deeper into the bags, we discovered cartons upon cartons of sugary drinks and colas. It was as if a soda pop explosion had occurred in our kitchen, with cans and bottles rolling in every direction. And then, the pièce de résistance, dozens of pizza boxes, stacked precariously on top of each other. It was as if our cart had become a mobile pizzeria, complete with enough pizza to feed a small army. By the time we had finished unpacking, our kitchen looked like a scene from a slapstick comedy. But amid the chaos, we couldn't help but laugh. After all, it's not every day that your grocery trip turns into a side-splitting spectacle. With the kitchen resembling a comedy sketch, we couldn't help but marvel at the absurdity of the situation. As we picked up the stray undergarments, we couldn't help but chuckle at the sheer size of them. These were no ordinary undergarments. They were the kind you'd expect to see in a Godzilla movie. My teenage son, bless his embarrassed soul, turned a shade of red that could rival a ripe tomato. Meanwhile, my spouse and I struggled to contain our laughter as we gathered up the wayward bras and boxers. It was like a scene from a sitcom, with each piece of underwear adding to the hilarity of the situation. We joked that our cart must have taken a detour through the lingerie department before heading to the checkout counter. But amid the laughter, there was a sense of camaraderie. We were in this together, experiencing the absurdity of life's unexpected twists and turns. And as we finally managed to corral the last of the undergarments, we couldn't help but appreciate the bond that had been forged through laughter and a shared sense of bewilderment. With the underwear avalanche sorted, we turned our attention to the next unexpected surprise from our shopping adventure. The soda symphony. Cartons upon cartons of sugary drinks and colas had spilled out of our bags, creating a fizzy flood in our kitchen. As we picked up the stray cans and bottles, we couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of it all. It was as if our cart had been stalked by a prankster with a penchant for soda pop. We imagined the soda bottles as performers in a quirky parade, each one dancing to its own fizzy tune. It was a symphony of soda, a cacophony of carbonation that had us chuckling as we cleaned up the mess. But amid the laughter, there was a lesson to be learned. Life is full of unexpected surprises, and sometimes you just have to go with the flow. Even if that flow happens to be made of soda pop. As we cleared away the last of the cans and bottles, we couldn't help but appreciate the humor in the situation. After all, it's not every day that your kitchen turns into a soda pop extravaganza. As we thought the surprises were over, our kitchen turned into a pizza lover's paradise. Dozens of pizza boxes spilled out of our shopping bags, stacking up like a mountain of cheesy goodness. It was as if our cart had become a mobile pizzeria, complete with enough pizza to feed a small army. We couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of it all. The image of the pizza delivery guy's face when he saw his truck emptied by a runaway cart flashed through our minds, sending us into fits of laughter. But as we cleared away the pizza boxes and stacked them neatly in the corner, we couldn't help but appreciate the randomness of life's surprises. Sometimes, the most unexpected moments turn out to be the most memorable. And so, with our kitchen resembling a pizza parlor, we sat down to enjoy a slice of the unexpected. As we savored the cheesy goodness, we couldn't help but feel grateful for the laughter and camaraderie that had come from our grocery store adventure. After all, it's not every day that your kitchen turns into a pizza box Jenga game. With our kitchen resembling a pizza parlor, we turned our attention to the last hope for sanity: the printed slips. These slips were supposed to help us check our purchases, but they had been jumbled like a squirrel had played grocery store Tetris with them. As we tried to make sense of the slips, we realized that deciphering them was a near impossible task. It was like trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces, each slip leading us further into confusion. But amid the chaos, there was a sense of amusement. We joked that our cart must have been on a shopping spree of its own, picking up items we never knew we needed. With the slips sorted, or as sorted as they could be, we couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of the situation. It was a reminder that sometimes, life throws you a curveball, and you just have to roll with it. And so, with our kitchen cleaned up and our spirits lifted, we reflected on the day's events. What started as a routine grocery run had turned into a comedy of errors, a tale that would have us laughing for days to come. After all, it's not every day that your kitchen turns into a slip shuffle game. With a bag of underwear in one hand and a pizza box in the other, I decided it was time to head back to the store. As we pulled into the parking lot, we witnessed a spectacle unfolding before our eyes. Mr. and Mrs. Munir, the extra-large couple from down the street, were in the midst of a fiery showdown with the store staff. It seemed they too had been victims of the cart catastrophe, with their own tale of grocery store mayhem to tell. I explained our situation to the store manager, who, instead of scolding the bewildered assistant Mukhtar, burst into laughter. He had seen it all, and in that moment, his laughter was so contagious that the rest of the staff couldn't help but join in. Feeling generous, I slipped Mukhtar a tip. I told him, "Hey, we all have our days, and today, my friend, you've earned your stripes in grocery store folklore." Mukhtar nodded, grateful for the lifeline. As we left the store, I couldn't help but marvel at the camaraderie that had been forged through laughter and shared misfortune. Our trip to Imtiaz Super Store had turned into a comedy of errors, but it had also brought us closer together, united in our quest for the perfect grocery run. As we drove home, the events of the day replayed in my mind like a scene from a movie. The underwear avalanche, the soda symphony, the pizza box Jenga. It had been a day full of unexpected twists and turns. But amid the chaos, there was a sense of joy. We had shared laughter and made new friends, bonded by the shared experience of a grocery run gone awry. The Munirs, our newfound neighbors and fellow victims of the cart catastrophe, had invited us over for tea. With the bag of undies, the soda flood, and the pizza box mountain as props, we regaled them with our grocery store escapade, sharing in the laughter and camaraderie that had come from our shared misfortune. As we sat around the Munir's kitchen table, sipping tea and swapping stories, I couldn't help but feel grateful. Grateful for the laughter, grateful for the new friendships, and grateful for the reminder that sometimes, life's greatest adventures come from the most unexpected places. And so, as we said our goodbyes and headed home, I knew that the day's events would stay with me forever. After all, it's not every day that your grocery run turns into a comedy of errors and a lesson in the beauty of life's unpredictability. And that, dear viewers, wraps up our hilarious shopping saga at Imtiaz Super Store. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more tales of chaos and comedy. Remember, life is full of surprises, so why not embrace the unexpected? Thank you for watching, and until next time, have a fantastic day.